Welcome to the CCTV America News Hour. I'm Elaine Reyes. Tensions in Ukraine's Crimea region continue to rise as Kiev has accused Moscow of sending in troops and taking over an airport there. The U.S. has said it is deeply concerned over these allegations and warned that there will be costs for any military intervention. Meanwhile, ousted former President Viktor Yanukovych has surfaced, and in a televised speech, he continued to call his removal a coup. We have team coverage on this developing story. First, we go live to Tom Barton, who is live in Crimea. Tom.
Hi there. Yes, a day of very serious incidents involving these armed groups in various places across Crimea. The Russian military denying that those were its troops, but the Ukrainian government saying, yes, indeed, they were, and that it accused Russia even more so of a military invasion of its territory and trying to provoke Ukrainian forces into a war to try and destabilize Ukraine. Very serious potential escalations there. And here in Simferopol, the capital of Crimea, we have seen angry protests and also the arrival of one oligarch who turned against the former ousted president Yanukovych. He was hounded out of town by a group of protesters who shouted at him that he was a fascist, and in great tension shown through that event, as we've seen in my report.
Here in the Crimean capital, the protesters vent their anger in Russian, not Ukrainian. The day started with armed men at the airport before dawn. Not invaders, but protectors, says this activist.
Thank you to these soldiers for coming, and now I think with their help there will be peace in Crimea.
As the sun rises, the crowd's collective blood pressure does too, with members of so-called self-defense battalions dismissing the Kiev protesters who toppled Yanukovych as radicals.
We clearly see what's going on in Kiev. The ruined streets, the pavement smashed to make missiles, Molotov cocktails cast about. They all carry guns. We don't want this chaos here.
On top of Simferopol's parliament, there are Russia's flags flying, not Ukraine's. Natalia is an ethnic Russian, a local economist turned protester, claiming persecution by Kiev's new government.
It's like the fascist invaders who stormed Kiev and established their own order.
After nightfall, Ukrainian tycoon and former foreign minister Petro Poroshenko walked into the middle of a hostile crowd to try and calm things down.
I came to talk to people. I came without guns.
This is what you get when Mr. Poroshenko, one of the oligarchs that opposed Mr. Yanukovych, turns up in Simferopol, baying crowds, hounding him through the streets, calling him a fascist and cheering for the Berkut riot police that have been disbanded.
No peace, scenes of chaos, and signs of a rising storm in the region's politics.
Intense scenes there seen from Simferopol, the capital of Crimea, as one of those politicians came to try and calm the situation down and was hounded out. The crowds there chanting for the very same Berkut riot police that were recently shut down, accused as they are in Kiev of killing of protesters. Here they are cheered.
And Tom, obviously a very busy day there. You're hearing from Ukraine's president as well as Russia's president. Do you think that Crimea and the rest of Ukraine will remain peaceful, or what are you expecting to see in the next few days?
That is a question that is very much on many diplomats' lips at the moment. A lot of high-level diplomacy flying around. British Foreign Minister coming to try and visit Ukraine to try and deal with this. We've had statements from the US, from Russia, from Ukraine as well, all of them trying to calm the situation with their words. Ukraine accusing Russia of saying one thing and doing another. President Vladimir Putin saying that it was very important to try and avoid any further steps of aggression, but then the Ukrainians calling him out on the fact that, as far as they were concerned, the unnamed gunmen around various parts of Crimea today were Russian soldiers.
All right, Tom Barton, thank you so much for that update.